Alright, welcome to another art review and critique video for one of my patrons. His name is Anthony and he sent me one of his pencil pieces. So a little bit about me. My name is Walden Wong. I'm a comic book artist for Marvel and DC Comics. You can see some of my work over on my website. It's waldenwongart.com. Over there you see a gallery, some of my social media links, and a lot of different things to learn more about me. And if you enjoy these videos and like to show some support, think about checking out my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/WaldenWongArt. Over there, there's different tiers that you can subscribe to show support. So thank you in advance for that. So today's art review and critique is from one of my patrons. His name is Anthony, and he sent me a pencil piece. It's a pencil piece with Gambit and X-23, Wolverine's daughter. So without further ado, let's take a look at his work. So here's the full page. We have panel 1 over here, panel 2, 3, 4, and then we have panel 5. So before we start the review, I should mention that my patron Anthony, he took a photo of this on his cell phone and just sent it to me. He doesn't have a scanner yet, I don't believe, but eventually if you do have a scanner and you're doing comic book work and you're sending it to publishers, it's better to scan your work. And I'm going to mention what resolution to scan it. So for those of you who want to scan, this is what you should do. You should go to image. I don't have my scanner turned on right now, but usually if you scan it at 600 dpi, and then once you scan it in color, after scanning in color, you're going to reduce it to 300 dpi and then convert it to grayscale. That's when your artwork is good enough to send to the publishers. So let's take a look at Anthony's work. So right here, panel 1, I do like that some of the trees has these perpendicular lines going over here, but the outside line, I still want lines to have a little bit of broken jaggedness, not too straight, just kind of like have some different directions coming out. This you have this tip of this branch kind of sticking out. I would just draw that off the panel and then just one kind of like have it come out this way. Let's take a look at Gambit's the drawing of Gambit. Okay, right here. The head, Gambit's head, I would have this head a little bit bigger, and instead of hair looping over here, I would actually have this strand kind of come up and come down. So we have hair that goes this way, and then some hair that goes that way, and then on the other side, just kind of like do the same thing, go on this side, and then have that hair kind of go like this. Instead of it looking like a fabric, maybe have some come down, and then break it up a little bit, and then maybe some coming out this way. The drawing of the head looks okay, but then when we look at the shoulder posture, it looks as if he's standing, like his body is this way, and then his head is turning all the way like this. Okay, so just to make it more relaxed, just to make this figure more relaxed, I would actually have his lapel face this direction, and then just one kind of like go further back, and then the shoulder kind of like come out this direction. So it's a little bit more relaxed, so it doesn't like he's twisting his head that much. And then we have the body coming out this way. And don't forget draw fabric and folds like this. Okay, the neck a little bit smaller. Okay, now we look at X-23's drawing, and we have the face over here. And then the eye seems to be a little bit too close to each other. I'm gonna take this eye and kind of move it out, okay? So if I move it out, let's see how it looks like. If we move it out to here, this looks a little bit better. So the position of the eye, that's actually a little bit too far out. I'm gonna nudge it more, maybe this direction. Nudge it here, there. Okay, now looking at this looks a little bit better. Okay, this looks a little bit better. And then I would actually draw this line, kind of go in a little bit towards the eye, and then come back out. Okay, good. I don't know what these are. I don't know what these lines are. So I think it's supposed to be maybe you're drawing like some foliage. Maybe have it kind of grow this direction instead of it going straight up like that. You have to remember gravity and kind of like have it kind of grow this way. Okay, let's take a look at some of the others. Same thing with this side. we have, I mean, it could be, I don't know, maybe some kind of different foliage going down and up, kind of like just relax a little bit and just have it flow downwards. I wouldn't have it grow exactly from that corner, maybe have it grow from here. We don't want tangents in our artwork. Tangents is when you have this thing growing exactly right on the corner. So I would have it kind of like come out this way and then add those extra leaves on the side. Okay, so far panel 1 looks okay. Let's try to separate some of the foreground, middle ground, and background. So we have some of the foreground, make this tree, give it a little bit more texture, a little bit more details on the foreground tree trunks. And then maybe this one is also in the foreground. So I would add a little bit more tree barks over here. And then maybe some textures on the side. And then you have the middle ground. Middle ground, we have these. But then don't draw as much texture on the middle ground like these guys. And then for the final background, just kind of like outline with a thin line, so that pushes your trees in foreground, middle ground, background. Okay, and then you have the characters in the front. Okay, let's take a look at panel 2. Seems like there's a lot of wasted space here. So this panel could have benefit from going slightly bigger, and then this one goes slightly bigger. Okay, unless the script calls for a lot of text over here and a lot of text over here, which you know, as an artist you have to account for that. I would actually have these panels kind of draw this one a little bit larger, so we take advantage of all the extra space that we have. We don't have to like lose it. Okay, let's take a look at the artwork for panel 2. Excuse me. So panel 2, we have, looks like we have a character standing lurking over here, and then we have his body just here, but then you have his hand here, but then what's going on over here? I would maybe draw his arm here and kind of like have his arm kind of some kind of gesture like, oh, he's gonna take a look, kind of like this. So at least we'll have that arm going on like this. Okay, here's the shoulder, here's the elbow, like that. Okay, and then let's see, X-23, the drawing seems like it's a little bit out of proportion. Let's fix that leg a little bit. I'm gonna adjust this leg and kind of like maybe go this direction here, and then we have this leg, and then maybe this one goes down this way. Okay, like this. Maybe we'll have it a little bit further this way, like it's walking, like she's deciding where to walk. The arms, I would have the arms, the fists go down this way and then this way. Okay, and then again the trees are too smooth, Anthony. Anthony's my Patreon's name. Right here, like if it's too smooth, it looks like maybe kind of like looks like Dr. Octopus tentacles. You don't want those tentacles to come down, like to give the impression that it's like tentacles. So give it some tree texture, and then kind of give it a little bit of angles here and there. So now it looks more like a tree. Okay, so we have, what is going on over here? Yeah, one tree here, you have a tree here, you have a tree in the background, but I think these are supposed to be tree leaves. So if you're drawing tree leaves, I noticed that you have this cluster right over here. This cluster is all the way in the foreground, and then you have this big tree in the background. Let's have this continue on, going like this. So this is the tree over here. So you move that in the foreground, and you have this in the background. Okay, add a little bit more texture to the side. I like drawing trees, kind of like these loopy lines like this. Okay, and then right here, what is this? Yeah, let's draw a tree, kind of like give it some kind of texture over here. So as a comic book artist, I know it's fun drawing the characters, but every so often you still need to be able to draw backgrounds too. Backgrounds are also important. As an artist, when I do comic books, I actually enjoy drawing and inking the backgrounds of everything first, and then work on the characters. Okay, so here we have X-23. X-23 is Logan's daughter. She looks like she walked down, we should draw like quicksand over here or something. Walked down and then kind of fell into quicksand. Let's add some more some more like a puddle, you know, kind of like splash coming out. And then you drew one arm here. This is the tangent. Try to avoid tangents as much as you can. I'm gonna move this arm so it's not touching the edge of the panel, because we don't want tangents. So I'm gonna work this over and kind of move it over like that. Okay, so it's not touching that same panel borderline. Okay, and then on the other arm, I would, instead of it being off the page, it kind of looks asymmetrical. So I'm gonna take this arm and kind of, well, I would draw the left arm, okay, her left arm. So instead of me drawing it, I'm just gonna quickly create this one, Control Transform, right click, flip horizontal, and then bring this over on this side, there. And then maybe move some different angle like that, okay. So it's not exactly the same, okay. And then instead of it being a fist, maybe some hand movement, like, oh, you just fell down, and then the hands are like, oh, I mean, you can make a fist, but let's go and draw this as a hand. So maybe here's the fist, and then here's the palm of the hand, the rectangle, and then we have the fingers coming out this way, like she's surprised, and then we have the thumb over here, okay, like coming, oh, it's like she's surprised. And then instead of her face looking straight, I would maybe have it kind of like look downwards. Okay, so I'm going to draw on top of your drawing, Anthony, like this, and then have the eyes kind of go down, and then the eyes looking down this way. Can zoom in, and then the nose, and then we got this one coming up here, and then we have the nose coming down here, kind of like looking downwards, like she's falling down, like this. Okay. Okay, so compared to the drawing that you've done, I just moved the eyes down a little bit. So instead of it being over here, I just moved it down a little bit, just to look down. And you know, when something's falling down, instead of showing the whole neck, I would maybe move the head a little bit further down. Okay, just a little bit further down. You know, like almost like stooping down a little bit. Okay. There we go. Good drawing on the body. Nice drawing. Good details over here. Let's add in some shadows to the black part. It looks like you're drawing. There's a lot of smudging involved, a lot of gray areas. So the one thing to be mindful of when you're drawing comic books, rarely is comic book art going to be gray unless it's colored. If you're drawing in pencil and it's going to be ink, it's going to be like a black line or no line, or just hatch lines that create a gray area. So here, I can't distinguish between the black part of the costume or the yellow part of the costume. So with the black part, I'm just going to go in here and kind of add shadows to where the black part would look like. I imagine the light sources coming from on top over here, and then I would go in here and just add some shadows to certain areas of her body to help separate her yellow part of the outfit and then her black part. Like for example, this arm here, I would go in here and add some shadows. I'm using red, but you know, you guys get the idea. You can use black and then kind of like mark it in like that. And then also on the bottom of the body, create a shadow like this, create a shadow over here. And having shadows help pop the figure more. Like over here, make that darker. Make my brush larger so it's faster. Okay, some shadows over here, and then you know, some more darker shadows in between the X logo. Some more shadows over here like this. Okay, so just so you can see the figure a little better. Okay, this one here, you have this panel. The drawing of Gambit looks pretty good over here, but X-23 looks kind of small. Okay, so when you're creating artwork, you always have to think about foreground, middle ground, and background. Things that are closer to you are larger. Okay, so right now this character. So I'm going to take this character and show you guys, show everyone. Okay, so if I take this character and move it next to Gambit, they're roughly about the same size. They're roughly about the same size. You guys see that? Okay, we'll check it out. So they're roughly the same size, you know? So if you have a character that's closer to the foreground, what you want to do is you want to make that character slightly larger, so this creates distance in your artwork. So right here, I'm going to create, here's some of the sand from the quicksand. Here's his arm, here's this arm, like this, okay? So now, okay, let's take a look at it before we did that. Okay, you see right now it looks like they're in the same plane, but if you draw that figure in the front larger, you create depth in your artwork. So there's a foreground, which is X-23, you have a middle ground, which is character, and you have the background, the trees. When you're drawing trees, make sure when you're drawing the outside lines like this, it continues flowing to the other side. Don't just have something drawn here and assume that it's like blocked by the tree trunk over here. Have it kind of like continue on the other side. Again, more detail on your drawing texture, just add a little bit more like this, okay? And let's take a look at the last panel. The last panel looks like X-23 is getting bit by an alligator. Nice drawing of the alligator. This alligator looks very nice. This drawing of the alligator here, good angle, good drawing of the fist, very nice. The claws over here for X-23, it looks a little bit off. If you have that angle, so imagine, okay, I'm going to zoom in. Imagine you have a block. This is X-23's fist, okay? X-23's fist, and you have his her thumb, and you have a wrist. Okay, the claw comes out here and here, and if the claw comes out here, the one that's closest to you will go this way, and then the other one will go the other way. Okay, it arches towards the claw, arches a little bit. So right now you have this one, which is, so if we look here, you have this one which is on fairly towards the between the knuckle and then the finger, and then all of a sudden the other fist is, the other blade is coming out all the way from the end. It's easier. Let me see if I can do Photoshop this. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm gonna erase this one, and then I'm gonna redraw some. Well, not redraw, but take your drawing and move it around. So we have this one. Control J, and then I'm gonna move this one. Maybe. Let's see, Control T, and move this one over here. Let's move this one in the back first. Okay, before we move that one, I'm going to see. Let me go back a little bit. Control C. There we go. And then I'm gonna erase this one. Again, erase this claw and put the claws in the right place. Control V. We have one claw on the background directly on that fist. I'm gonna tilt it a little bit. Tilt it a little bit, maybe going this way, so it's between the finger. Okay, and then the other one, I'm gonna have it right on this one, but then I'm gonna tilt it this way. Okay, so now we have both of them in the same, growing out from the same area. So this one, let's see, layer, I'm gonna flatten the image first, and then I'm gonna go here. This one comes between this finger, and this one comes between this finger, and it's all in the right place. Okay, so now the claws make sense based on the angle of the fist. So we'll take a look at it before, and then after. So before it was like this, right over here, and then after adjusting it, we have the claws that looks like this. Okay, so X-23's face, when she's getting bit by the alligator, it looks like she's pretty relaxed. You know, like if I'm relaxed, like my head's just, you know, just standing there. But if you're tense, you know, your shoulders, your head kind of like goes down to your shoulders. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this head a little bit lower, redraw the head. The drawing of the head looks pretty good. Good job on that, Anthony. I'm gonna move this a little bit lower, okay? And then maybe tilt the head a little bit, like he's kind of surprised looking at the alligator, looking directly at the alligator. So like this angle looks a little bit better, okay? So before, you know, where the head is, and then compared to after. So now there's more intensity, okay? So right over here, we'll notice that the body is out of proportion. So we have her rib cage over here, and then we have her chest area over here. So right away, we'll notice that this anatomy part is drawn incorrectly. So we need to move this one down a little bit just to match the rest of the body, okay? Like that, okay? And then you have this line over here. So this rectangle part, the costume, you need to remember that when you're drawing figures, so we have like her box shape, her skeleton is like this. And then we have the center, and then we have the chest. You want these lines to be in the right place. So here's the rib cage, and then here's the side decoration stuff. So right here, if this is over here, this part should be up here, okay? Lightly sketch out those lines and make sure they're drawn in the correct area, okay? And let's see, yeah, it looks pretty good. I would have more intensity on the splashes, because right now the splash looks like it's like there's soft splashes. Try to make those splashes, you know, trying to go like more sharper. It gives it more urgency in the work. And also I would have it go, instead of drawing these in different direction, they're both like the X-23 and the alligators like fighting in this direction, so the water will splash outwards. So I would go in here, splash, water going that direction, and this is the alligator's tail. Okay, if this is the alligator's tail and this is the body, I would have the body a little bit more, just like that much more. Okay, good. Okay, so this is Anthony's work. So we have panel 1. Go and draw some of the body, sketch out the anatomy in the correct angle. Let me demonstrate how I did that with Gambit. So with Gambit, you had a head that goes this direction, like this, and then you have the neck, and then we have the rectangle cylinder of the body that goes this direction. Okay, once you have that, then you go in there and you draw the lapel and clothing around it. Okay, and you have the shoulder that's right here, and we have this shoulder. I would, instead of hands being straight at the side all the time, kind of adjust it where it looks like there's some kind of movement, like he's about to move. Okay, I'm gonna erase this part and this part, like right over here. Okay, drawing the eyes, make sure the eyes are in the right place. When you're drawing trees, you want the trees to have some kind of texture instead of a smooth line. I added like a hand over there just to give it some kind of motion. We added another arm on this side, so it doesn't look like the hand is just off the panel. It just looks nicer. You have that panel space, you might as well take advantage of it. Also, the panels, make it a little bit larger, draw them a little larger. One thing I should mention is I'm looking at your bleed lines. Like I noticed that you're drawing it in here. You can always draw when me and other artists, we draw outside. We take advantage of the outside line. Okay, so this is the outside crop line. So you can always move that panel closer towards, like for example, move that panel closer towards like that outer line. So this way it gives you more room to draw things. And then X-23 on the bottom, redraw. I redrew some of the hands, some of the fists, made the head go lower so her eyes look directly at her. What was her eye looking at? Yeah, the eye looks like it's looking down, like, you know, on the alligator's chest area. But when we tilt the head, now it's looking at directly where she's getting bit. I would add more texture to the alligator stuff over here. Okay, just be a little bit more consistent. Okay, I like the outside the bumpage. I don't even know if that's a word. So there you have it. This is Anthony's work. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Check out my website is waldenart.com. And if you enjoy these videos that I do for my patrons, these art review and critique videos, check out my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/waldenart. If you're an aspiring artist and you want me to critique your work, there's different tiers that you can look at. Or if you just enjoy these videos that I make for you, think about supporting me over on Patreon. So next time, keep on drawing, practice drawing shapes, looking at shadows, think about light source, and all the fun stuff like that. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.